Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 91 of the Bucs UK podcast. It's a special episode. It's the 35th Bucs UK annual award, that end of season award. I'm not your host for this evening. I am your master of ceremonies. My name is Alex. I've got Kieran with me, Tim, Dom, David, and Gary. Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Hi, mate.
All right.
Hey, hello.
It's like Celebrity Squares.
With those celebrities.
I hope Alex isn't Bucks answer to Ricky Gervais.
I say celebrities within our own rights. You know, we can feel like that if we want to, can't we? So if you haven't already liked the video, make sure you do. Please smash that like button, subscribe to our channel if you already aren't, and also turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time we upload. Right, let's get straight into it. We're not going to hold back here. Let's start the 35th annual Bucs UK Awards. The most prestigious award ceremony here, not only because it is about Buccaneers, you can't get more prestigious than that, but also because they are voted by you, our Bucs UK members. You guys have truly decided who win the awards. We have got quite a few categories to get through, so let's start off with our very first category, and that is the Offensive Player of the Year. And our nominees are: we've got wide receiver Mike Evans, wide receiver Chris Godwin, and offensive lineman Tristan Wirfs. Gentlemen, let's get your views and thoughts on the nominees for Offensive Player of the Year. Gary, what do you think about the three that are up for the award this year?
I think that's a good trio. There's only one winner for me, my favourite Buccaneer. I've got a shirt hanging behind me, number 13. 9 consecutive seasons, 1,000 yards. And he had that 250-odd yard game, whatever it was, towards the end of the season. He's got to be the man for me.
And Tim, a very good argument there for Mike Evans, but there's still two strong other candidates there.
Yeah, I can't disagree with Gary. The guy's an absolute legend, but I will go for probably the unexpected one of these three, which is Tristan Wirfs. He is the guy around how our running, passing game and general protection of Tom Brady worked. He is the best right tackle in the league and probably in the top 3 best tackles in the league on either side of the ball. Never misses a play, never misses a beat. Easily, for me, the winner this year.
So we've got one vote for Evans, one vote for Wirfs. Dom, David, Kieran, any of you thinking Godwin could be the winner for this one?
I'm a bit disappointed by who's not there. Maybe it's a bit of sour grapes or Stockholm syndrome, I don't know, but why isn't Brady there? I think we got a bit complacent. Third year Brady, if he'd have come in and played like that in the first year, we'd have still had him.
Yeah, that's a good point.
For a very short period of time, we've got very used to having a franchise quarterback.
Don't worry, it'll soon go.
I mean,
back to reality.
Back to reality. Oh, optimism as always from Dom Brady here, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll chip in a bit for Godwin if I can.
Please do, David. Yeah,
I think Mike Evans is, no doubt is our stellar best ever receiver. But he had a large chunk of the season where he just didn't get the ball. Wirfs, we know he's totally reliable, but Godwin, really, what a comeback season for him after that injury. He really stood out actually when receiving, really versatile. I'd have liked to have seen him used a bit deeper, but he was all over the field, and I thought to come back the way he did, I think was a really good performance for the season.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
You could make an argument for any of them, couldn't you, really, winning it this year?
Yeah, our offence at times was offensive. Sadly.
Yeah,
it just didn't gel all season, did it? But
no.
Yeah, we'd have all loved to have seen a lot more from Mike Evans. We know what he's capable of. He's done it year in year, another 1,000 yards season. But overall, just generally disappointing. But I think Godwin really stood out as a comeback player.
Well, without further ado, let's find out who is the winner. And the winner is, it's the man, it's the myth, it's the legend. You can't guard Mike. It is Mike Evans, a worthy winner on that one there. Gary, you were singing his praises a moment ago. Clearly, you must be happy on that one.
I'm very happy. Great player, absolutely amazing human being. He's got so much time for the community and the fans. Signs every autograph. He's always there. He's just a fantastic player, fantastic man, and I'm very happy that he's won this award.
Right, well, let's keep this going, gentlemen, and it's time for our next award now, which is the Defensive Player of the Year, and the nominees are Lavonte David, Vita Vea, Devin White, and Antoine Winfield Jr. Whoa, what a group of players we've got there. Dom, I mean, where do we begin with this lot?
Well, I think if it was up to me, I think it would be between David and Vea. I'm so happy with the best news I've had is Lavonte's signing again. He was immense, I thought, last season. And the thing with all those four, I know they probably are the top four defensive players. Any one of those is missing and you notice it, don't you? Devon just dropped off probably a little bit, but that's only because of the high standards he did through the Super Bowl year. Winfield, I don't know. I'm not sure he'd be the best player last season. So if I was giving it, so I'd probably give it Vea. But Vea or David.
It's funny you said that Devin White dropped off a little bit. I do think Vita Vea stepped up a little bit. I was a bit worried about the absence of Sue, and I felt like at times we lacked that push in the middle. But I think Vea definitely stepped up.
Smooth.
Alex, I'd like to throw in one other name that's not up there, and that's the recently re-signed Jamal Dean, who performed superbly all season in pass coverage to the point of they ignored him by the end of the season. And that was a real good one signing I didn't expect to see back. And I thought he had a superb year. Much better, to be truthful, than the player I love on that 4-4 ball, which is Devin White.
Ooh,
Yeah,
controversial.
One comment from me, if I may. If you look at that foursome there, that's the spine of the defense, isn't it? We've got that. I don't know about Lavonte beyond this year, but or even possibly actually thinking about it. Devin White's in a contract year. Let's hope they re-sign him. Winfield, of course, played in the slot, and this year Bowles has said he's going to play free safety. So just to concentrate on the one position. So I think you'll see him come into his own this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at the four of them, really, secondary had a lot of injuries this season. Winfield missed a few games. And I think first half of the season, that impacted on Devin White and Lavonte David. I think they weren't aggressive up front. We didn't see the speed and power for the first half of the season because I think they were covering the secondary a lot more. I think Vita Vea just stuffed everything all season.
I guess the challenge it does mean is that none of these players are particularly young. Whereas, Wirfs is still maybe I'm being a bit cruel to Antoine Winfield because he's not that far along. But it shows, I think, actually that maybe some of the more recent draft picks still need to come on a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Well, we've offloaded a lot of them.
We have. We have. But let's find out which one of these amazing four wins the Defensive Player of the Year. And the winner is... It's the big man himself. It's nose tackle. It's Vita Vea, a very worthy winner, a top player for the Bucs since he has joined. Kieran, I saw you nodding there, clearly in agreement with the members.
I mean, this guy gave his tooth for the Bucs. There's no part of his body that he doesn't put on the line.
No,
absolutely.
And the highlight when he left the field in Munich, waving his jersey around, wasn't he? Yeah. Fantastic. What a bloke.
Absolutely brilliant. Our next award of the show is Lineman of the Year. Now, this can be offensive or defensive lineman. So let's see who the nominees are for this one. And the nominees are Robert Hainsey, Shaq Mason, Vita Vea, and Tristan Wirfs. We've already seen a couple of these players. We've discussed Vita Vea and Tristan Wirfs. Let's have a bit more focus on the other two. David, so Shaq Mason and Robert Hainsey, they had their work cut out this year. Or last year,
they did. They certainly did. They both came into lines that were in a difficult situation. Hainsey coming in centre, I've taken over from Jensen, did a a great, if not spectacular job. I think he did, but he didn't set the tone and the way that the team plays that Jensen did, but came in and was solid.
I thought he did really well, Dave. He was thrown into a difficult spot. We were all gutted when Jensen went down in pre-season. We thought, what's going to happen? And he switched this young lad in, and fair play. I thought he was exceptional. There was very few any snap issues. You didn't hear his name much, which I always love as a centre, unless you're Jensen and you're knocking somebody on his arse. But Hainsey, I thought, did really well. Shaq Mason, well, you can tell what we thought of him. We tried to get rid of him as quickly as possible. I'm quite pleased to get a 6th-round pick back for him, actually.
I don't know. Surely Shaq just came because he wanted to play with Brady, and then without Brady.
Probably, yeah. But it was a good bit of business to get a pick back for him, actually. But
I thought Hainsey was superb, I thought, last season. To step into Jensen and not to miss Jensen. You're going to miss him anyway, but not to miss him as much as we thought we would. Like Tim was saying, I think for a young lad, fantastic. Yeah, well done, mate.
It'll be interesting to see where they play him next year now, because you know he's a guard by trade. So will he move to left guard and see what his big moves afoot potentially coming up over the next few weeks.
I mean, of course, it was easy for other defensive teams to attack Donovan Smith.
Where's that flag? Where's that flag?
And of course, we know why Vita Vea and Tristan Wirfs are there. We've already discussed those two absolutely incredible players. Let's find out which of these has won the award this year, and the winner is Tristan Wirfs, lineman of the year. What a player he is! He's been sensational, Gary, since he came in.
He certainly has. He's a very worthy winner, and quite frankly, you can pencil him in for next year and the year after, because we're not going to get a better lineman on either side of the ball than this guy. He's just, all the pundits out there, Rick Stroud and all those sort of guys, they're putting a gold jacket on him already. That's how good he is.
I think he rivals Paul Gruber already for our best ever lineman.
Yeah.
That's comparison royalty, isn't it? You can't say much more than that.
I wonder also whether, hindsight 2020, there were the year of his draft, there were that group, weren't there? 4 or 5 offensive linemen that were all really well, highly regarded. He kind of came off the board last.
It was the last one.
And it felt like we kind of got in there just before the January sales ended, but it feels like we actually got the jackpot.
Yeah, he's the best
100%.
by a long way.
Yeah. So let's move on to the next award. We're going to be talking to Kieran a lot about this one. It's the Special Teams Player of the Year.
The third of the game.
That's the third of the game, and the nominees are Jake Kamada and Ryan Suckup. Kieran, I'm going to mute my mic. Over to you.
Well, I'd say there were only 2 nominees, so this isn't me miscounting the votes. All the votes came into either one of the 2 players, but it's probably worth maybe remarking who isn't in there. I think Zach Triner, the long snapper, should get some credit. It's a very undersung position. As much as we're moaning about punt returners and kick returners, it felt like towards the second half of the season, maybe there were some green shoots that started to show. So I don't think it's entirely a 2-horse race.
I think it's a 1-horse race.
Yeah, and me personally.
Yeah, I think it's a 1-horse race as well. I mean,
I actually think it's a 1-play race, which is the play against the Carolina Panthers.
Oh my goodness!
Which is one of the best I've ever seen from a punter in any in any game.
Well, it's not only that, he was actually our best special teams tackler as well.
Yeah.
How many times was he the last man of defence and brought the returner back down?
Yeah, he was good all round. Again, we had it with Suckup from inside 40 yards. You didn't have to worry when Kamada was called on. Everything he did, and he certainly, as the games went on, he got even better and better.
I mean, I'll be honest. I've got no idea who you guys are talking about. I think it's an even race personally. So I haven't got a clue who you are possibly suggesting might win this.
I think you're all sour grapes because Suckup's no longer a Buccanea, but inside 50, he was money.
He
The
was.
highest
Yeah.
kicking percentage
Absolutely.
ever, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, he
We
was
might-
outstanding.
There is one other player we haven't mentioned, which is Jalen Darden.
I was just going to say we haven't got a returner there.
No.
Yeah.
So we'll just quickly move on.
Oh, well, on that note, then Tim, we'll take that suggestion and let's find out who the winner of Special Teams Player of the Year is. I don't think it comes as any surprise. Jake Kamada, what a rookie season he had. We finally got a punter. He was just absolutely incredible this year, Tim.
He really was. Just generally, just the basics of punting, he made it look so easy. And that ball was traveling 60, 70 yards regularly. I know you've got to take off the net part of it. Gee, that boy can kick the ball, no problem. That was a real good pick.
And again, though, because there was this is a bit like the worst pick, but the other way around, where there were other meant to be better punters on the board.
Oh yes.
I can't remember the guy's name now, but he was like the punt god or whatever he called it.
It went to Buffalo.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that would have been a
He's in
typical
jail,
Tampa Bay pick, wouldn't it? Because
Absolutely.
2 months down the line,
He was in
he's
court
with no
off the
team now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's off. But yeah,
It
Whether-
just goes to show as well. The draft is so unpredictable. We said about Tristan Wirfs, last man off the board. The last defensive lineman in that group off the board.
Yeah.
Jake Kamada, and look how he's got. There's no such thing as a sure pick, as they say.
But
tell
look at the final draft pick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So
It does feel like someone's photoshopped out his guitar.
I mean, hey,
Very
he's that
good,
he's
very
that good.
good.
Why can't he play a musical instrument while punting the ball? He'd probably
Oh.
good, couldn't he? So,
Yeah.
but massive congratulations there to Jake Kamada. So our next award is the Rookie of the Year, and the nominees are we've got Jake Kamada, Cade Otton, and Richard White. Wow, what a group that is! How on earth do we pick one of these three? I mean, David, you can make an argument for any three of these winning this one.
Yeah, I mean, all three contributed. It's really positive for the future, isn't it? I mean, with going Cato and but I mean, tight ends, the youngsters really came to show this year, so that was great. We've just talked all about Kamada and Rashard Wright. He's definitely the man that's taking that responsibility now, and he showed some muscle out there. He's definitely. I mean,
Was David pause for everyone?
Oh, thank goodness it wasn't my internet.
No, you're all right.
Yeah.
I'll carry on what I say. So I think Rashard White, to me, is everything I'd hoped to see in Rojo.
Yeah.
Rojo had the promise of that pace, of that burst through the line, of the elusive running, of needing to be a bit of a power back and screwing up his pads when he needed to. I feel like Rashard White brings a lot of that to the game. The jury's probably still out on him as a receiver, but
He's better than Rojo, though.
yeah, exactly. It's a fair play.
He did have one of the rookie plays for me of the year when he knelt down against Seattle when he could have scored in Germany to run the clock even further. It's a real heads up football play.
Absolutely.
It'll be interesting to see if he can be the number one guy. I'm not sure about that. I'd have a conversation with Gary Botley about that later in fantasy football.
Well, because I've just traded for him off you.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll literally see what happens.
Well, and in Munich as well, he had that fantastic run, didn't he, where he pushed over the Seahawks defender.
Yeah,
but Cade Otton. Sorry, go on, mate. Go on.
He's a promising back, not a number one back yet. So it'll be. I still think there's work to be done, possibly in the draft.
I mean, there's definitely work to be done, but he's done enough that he's managed to essentially get Fournette out the way.
Yes,
and that's no easy job. So and what I've seen, I think he could be RB1 next season. I think he possibly could do it. I'm a quickly become a big fan of his. I'm really excited to see what Rashad White does next season.
And me, but it'll depend on the 5 guys in front of him.
And I think there's going to need a lot of work on that O-line as well at the moment. You know, that's a completely different topic to discuss. But, you know, with no left tackle, Shaq Mason's gone. We need to get these gaps filled. That's going to be a fascinating watch as well.
We've got a new offensive coordinator and probably therefore a new playbook. And, you know, I think Rashad White, without getting too technical, he's a traditional straight up blocking for holes. But if we come in and suddenly the offensive coordinator wants to run a zone blocking scheme or something, you know, where we're running out wide and sweeps, then actually we could well be in the market for a new running back. The conventional wisdom seems to be that running backs are quite dispensable these days. But yeah, like I say, Rashad White's earned his time at the top.
Gary, we haven't mentioned too much about Cade Otton, but he really did show promise. We saw Brady start going to him quite a bit. He was making some great catches, some big plays. Maybe this is our new tight end going forward. He looks like he's got the potential.
I think you're dead right. I think he is. He flashed a lot of promise, didn't he? He didn't make us forget Gronk, but you know, he's got everything, hasn't he? He can catch the ball, he can block. He seemed to run the right route, as the word they use. You know, he was on the money all the time. The name I'm surprised is not up on that trio is Logan Hall. I mean, where's him? The fantastic season he had. I think he did get in for one play in one of the games. So, you know, why isn't he on there?
So
we'll see how he develops quickly.
I think the biggest compliment you could give Otton is that Brady trusted him, and he looked for him, and that probably gave. I'm trying to think of a better highlight last season. A Birmingham watch party against the Rams, that last 5 seconds, whatever it was, touchdown where he got open, and Brady, who was he looking for? Straight to Otton. So I can see nothing but, again, all 3 of those, good draft.
Yeah.
Well, let's find out which one of these 3 was voted by our members as Rookie of the Year. The winner is... Oh, he's done it again. Jake Kamada.
Wow.
Still no guitar.
Special teams player of the year and Rookie of the Year.
Wow.
I need someone to make me a T-shirt for the Tampa Bay Commanders.
I'll be honest, I'm pleasantly surprised by that. I mean, it's not Jake Commander's not deserving of this. He is, but I mean, I have Rashad White in my book. I am surprised by this. Kieran, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, I spent a third of the game special teams, so I think if you think about the number of yards that Jake Kamada counted us down for, and the field position battles that meant that we were starting not at our own 10 or 15, but more like the 25 or the 35, pinning them because we'd pinned them down on the preceding drive and managed to get a 3 and out or a short drive. It's game changing. And it means that it opens up so much more on our defensive playbook that they're not coming up with their back against the wall and they can play whatever defense they want because they've got the space to breathe in.
Next award is his favourite Buccaneers player, and the nominees for this one are Mike Evans, Raheem Nunez-Roches, Vita Vea, and Antoine Winfield Jr. I mean, can we just talk about Raheem first? I mean, unfortunately, we have he has gone to the Giants. He will be a miss. You know, a great player to have to step up. Second string. One of the best there, as far as I'm concerned. Came in, did a great job, and just a great personality around the locker room as well, Dom. Is he going to be a bigger miss next season than people probably think?
Yeah, I think he will be. I think the Giants have done well to get him, and that the trouble is we're in such a hole with the salary cap. We've probably lost a couple of players who we would. Well, that's what we're in at the moment, aren't we? You know, that's just. But again, you can make an argument for all of these lads winning it, but we might have to send one to New York. But I think Mr. Evans might be getting it.
Oh, we got a vote for Mr. Evans winning this one already. I mean, I think the big thing about these guys, especially when we look at what the award is called, favourite Buccaneer player, is that they're all just likable players from a fan perspective.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was, but someone said earlier about the amount of work Mike Evans does for the fans and how he's
Gary,
always there.
I
It was a
think.
Gary. Thanks, sorry, Gary.
Mm.
Raheem Nunez Roach is the same, Vita Vea the same, Antoine Winfield the same. They are all willing to give up their time to meet the fans, and it's huge for people like us.
Also,
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean-
that their heart on the field as well.
Mm.
No, I think Nacho would never claim to be a Pro Bowl or have the same level of talent that some of the other Bucks have, but he's giving the same percentage of effort as everybody else.
Yeah, he's been a good player. It'll be interesting. Gary mentioned Logan Hall earlier. That'll be the player who's got to step into a bit of that role, and be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah,
Well-
I have my doubts that he will, but again, as somebody said, you can make an argument for any one of those
Yeah.
four.
Yeah.
But my money's on Big Mike again.
Big Mike. I think most of my money's on Big Mike. I think most of us are probably think it's going to be Big Mike. So without further ado, let's find out who the winner of this award is. We called it.
Hey.
It's Mike Evans again. There is nothing negative to say about this man. You know, he is a great representative of the franchise. He's an incredible player. His organization, his foundation does tremendous work for the community over in America. He's just a lovable guy.
And he
I
hates
also-
the Saints, doesn't he?
Yeah, I was going to talk about something similar. He's also turned himself around a little bit. He's never been lacking in talent or ability or effort, but he went through a period where he maybe got as many flags as he won. So for every time he was interfered with, he was pushing off. And there was that sort of incident with New Orleans. And you could say he had Jameis Winston's back, but at the same time, it was something that he shouldn't have done. But that's all history now, and he's pretty much a model citizen these days.
He is a very fierce teammate. He's like you say, Kieran, he is someone you want in your corner on that team. He will back you as a teammate. And I think that's another thing that probably has helped him win. All our members have voted him as the favourite Buccaneer player.
And I think on the field as well, he doesn't just make plays, he makes special plays.
Yeah.
He makes plays that there's not many out there could do. Some of his receptions are just incredible.
Yeah. Well, you could tell he used to be a basketball player as well, because he leaps so high, and he's as strong as an ox. He never gets pushed off the ball, and he will fight. I mean, you see him sometimes he's just limping away, but he always wants to go back in.
Absolutely.
Always. The bloke's a legend.
Yeah.
My only worry is if we win another Super Bowl, I don't know where he's going to have it tattooed.
I don't think we'll go into that in any more detail right now. But massive congratulations there to Mike Evans. Now we're on to the NFL Player of the Year. So for this award, our members could choose any player in the NFL who they were a big fan of, they thought had a terrific season. So let's find out who the Bucs UK members were particularly fond of in the 2022 season. And the nominees are Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Justin Jefferson, and Patrick Mahomes. David, just 4 top quality NFL players here.
Yeah, absolutely. This was a group of players that really stand out in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes, there he is. He's done it again. He hobbled around in the playoffs, but God, I'm not going to vote for him. I was looking at Jefferson. He really just kept playing. And again, another NFL player that just makes stellar plays. And, half of the game's entertainment. And he just made some incredible plays.
I agree.
Yeah,
the fact that there's to be a non-quarterback in that list, I think, is quite hard in itself.
Yeah.
He's the number 1 wide receiver in the league, and considering he's got Kirk Cousins throwing at him, not particularly accurately half the time, his numbers he puts up are phenomenal. And everybody knows the ball is going to him more than probably anybody else in the league at this moment. and you still can't cover him. I would offer up a few players for him if he'd come to the Bucs.
Yeah.
I think anyone would have
Maybe
Justin
Logan
Jefferson on their
Hall.
team, wouldn't they? Maybe Logan Hall. And Kieran, we've got Josh Allen on there as well. You know, another sensational quarterback since he's entered the league. Really turned Buffalo around since he's been there too.
He has, and I think Josh Allen's wondering why he's not hitting the same high C that everyone else appears to be striving for. But I think Josh Allen. I'm a little bit disappointed by Buffalo last year. They came in really as the sort of the bookies' favourites, and I guess, you know, to some extent it goes to show the effect of injuries, and in a long season things are going to happen. But I guess we talked about, you know, toughness and the sort of, that sort of gutsiness that Mike Evans brings, and I think Josh Allen has that in spades. But I'm not sure all of his teammates do. They just didn't seem to have that resilience and that grit. But so I think Josh Allen's got all of the physical attributes you would want in a quarterback, all the mental attributes you want in a quarterback. I'm not sure if he's a leader.
Ooh.
Ooh, interesting,
Ooh.
Kieran.
I can't stand Mahomes, but I'd go into battle with him.
Yeah. The thing with Josh Allen as well, he's playing in Buffalo as well. It's got to be one of the hardest places to be a quarterback with the weather and that. And I know Ian had him in his fantasy team, and he always seemed to run up big numbers for fantasy wise anyway, until that final game, unfortunately. But never mind. Cheers.
I wonder when Ian Costain's fantasy
That
team
was
might have made an appearance on the
Well, and talking of fantasy teams, Mr. Mahomes was my quarterback, and
he was mine too.
well, and you know how well he did, and of course
I do.
he went all the way and he won the lot. So
He did.
I think he would have to get it for me.
It didn't help me win the trophy this year, but no, I'm not bitter over that.
Me neither, mate. Me neither.
And Gary, let's just quickly have a discussion about Jalen Hurts. His third season in the NFL. Philadelphia had an incredible season. He's shown the quality and the promise that everyone thought he was going to have.
Yeah, they've in fairness to the Eagles, they've done a good job with him. They brought him on slowly, didn't they? And he had a season to die for. But you know, there's a law in this country that says that you cannot vote for a Philadelphia Eagles player in end of season awards. So you know, he's I don't even want to talk about him. There's only one.
Right, on that note, that brings
and
out
that's Jefferson, because I've got him on one of my fantasy teams.
Well, I think on that note, that brings an end to the discussions of these gentlemen. So let's find out who the winner is.
Wow.
Scrub that. You can't possibly do that.
Well, congratulations to Jalen Hurts, who has been voted by our members as the NFL Player of the Year. And
he was about 8 or 9 votes clear as well. It wasn't
really.
Wow.
Obviously a popular choice with the members, if not this panel.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're calling it down the middle, which we should be doing right now, let's be honest. He did have a terrific season. On paper this year, I think he deserves it.
I think
he certainly had a good season.
Yeah, he elevated those people around him in a way that San Francisco struggled to get production from their quarterbacks to do the same. I think, you know, their talent is not top talent, but they went, you know, nearly all the way.
Yeah. Absolutely, a great season for Philadelphia. Obviously, we don't hope they do it again next season, but you know, we'll be nice. Well done for last season, Eagles. Moving on. Well done, Jalen. Next award. And now we're on to the Bucs UK Member of the Year. Now, this is an award where our members choose someone who is part of Bucs UK who they feel goes above and beyond for this club. This can be in any way, shape, or form. So, the nominees for Member of the Year are yours truly, Alex Oldham, Adam Davis, Johnny Orwell, Christy Thomas, Dominic Hodgkinson, Adam McTaggart, Stuart Blackmore, Mariana Worthy-Smith, Phil Bushby, Pete Payne, and Ian Costain. Now, we could be here for ages if we discuss each one of these people, but they are incredible members of our club, and we are very, very lucky to have them. So let's get straight on with it and find out who is, as voted by our members, is the member of the
Oh.
year, and the winner is.
It's a draw.
Oh, it's a joint. It's a joint
Oh.
winner. Mariana
Oh.
and Pete. Oh, two great people who us guys on the pod, we do have the privilege of working with very closely within the club. I mean, Tim, nothing but positive words about these two.
Yeah, they're very knowledgeable, enjoy the Bucs, and contribute a hell of a lot of unseen stuff. Pete certainly on the social media stuff. We are very lucky to have people like this.
Pete's stuff, yeah. Pete. So for those that don't know, Pete pretty much runs the Instagram account, and anytime on our social media you see a natty little video clip, chances are it was him. And so unassuming, but so important.
Pete, I'll say a bit on both of them. Pete is absolute legend, top man. I think I was sat next to him on that photo. The stuff he does, and the bloke is unbelievable with the videos and all. I don't even know how the hell he even does any of these things, but he is absolutely fantastic. What he does for the club, and they couldn't have gone to a nicer person than Pete. Is a legend. And Mariana, obviously, fantastic. She got the USA vote. We know that because they're messaging all the time. Yeah. And she deserves the co-award just for what she did in Birmingham on her own for that watch party. Not forgetting Paul as well, who helped her out.
Honorary member,
Yes.
Honorary member Paul. Yeah. And both of them fantastic. And what ambassadors for the club.
Absolutely.
I'd just like to say, of course, David, Kieran, and Phil, the amount of work you guys do for this club is incredible, and the fact that you've got people such as Mariana, Pete, and many other members who want to work behind the scenes and help you guys, it just goes to show what you created here as well, and that's why we're lucky to have people such as Pete and Mariana behind the scenes. So a huge congratulations to those two, but we also got to give our thanks to you three as well for the work you've done and what you created here at this club.
No, yeah, well said, Alex. Well said.
No, thanks, Alex. But I just think the depth of people that were nominated actually just shows what a fantastic club it is. There's so many of our members that get involved, so many that make an effort to either be on the website, to come to events, to actually just make the whole thing good fun to be with. Everyone does their bit. All of you guys on here tonight and everyone else that joins our podcast. I mean, we've set out and made it very clear that it's all about community. And I just think it's fantastic, and everybody deserves a pat on the back. Everybody contributes. Everybody's brilliant. Pete, two-time winner, of course, because of his fantasy win as well this year.
Yes, I believe he did. Well, I can't remember who beat in the final now, but yeah, I know. Superb. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And Marianne, again, that's an absolute superstar. She's been really good on all the media front as well, and organising the watch parties and that. So we've just got so many fantastic members. I think we're just really lucky.
Yeah. Completely echo what David says. Yeah. I think it's also a testament to the fact that there's quite a few people nominated there for the first time, and people that aren't necessarily people that have been around the club forever. So this isn't a clique. New people can come along all the time and get involved. And it's really great to see. Christy mentioned there. I know Phil and Adam and others, and they've all managed to get them from the podcast, come along to the events, and have really had a chance to shine.
Absolutely. Well said, Jen. I think I won't say any more on this award. I'll leave the last word to you guys for that. But once again, well done, massive well done to both Mariana and Pete, fully deserving of that award. Well done to you two. So now it's time to move on to our final award of the show. It's the big one, the Buccaneer of the Year. Our nominees are Mike Evans, Brian Ford, Big Nasty, and Devin White. Kieran, we'll start with Mr. Brian Ford, a very good friend of the club's. He's done so much for Bucs UK over the years. I haven't been around as long as part of the club as such as yourself and David, and I know he's done a tremendous amount of work or helped Bucs UK a lot.
Absolutely. We have to pinch ourselves with how lucky we are to have Brian, not only as a contact and a sort of colleague of the club, but also as a friend. He's a really fantastic guy who gives his all for the Buccaneers, and that's kind of, I think, really what we're recognising. This Buccaneer of the Year award is about what it means to be a Buccaneer. Yeah, it's not about who runs the fastest or who does the most, but kind of just who really operates in that spirit. And you're right, Brian is the quintessential ambassador for the club, representing a whole half of the club. Everything that's not on the field is Brian, and I guess obviously the media focuses on the half that is on the club. But the fact that the ticket office and the customer support, year in year out, comes sort of near the top of the polls or top. Fantastic.
And we've got. Sorry, David.
We're just incredibly lucky. I mean, there's no other sporting organisation, let alone NFL franchise, that comes close to the engagement with its fan base as the Buccaneers, and that that's all down to Brian. And his whole philosophy is about it's about entertainment, and it's not just Bucs UK. He engages with everybody that follows the Buccaneers. He just does an outstanding job, incredible personality, and yeah, we are just so lucky.
I think we should mention Keith as well, Big Nasty.
Yeah.
Dom, you read my mind. Let's talk about Big Nasty. He's been on our show as well. I know.
Well, I was honoured to be on with him.
You were absolutely.
He was fantastic bloke, and spent some time with him in Munich as well. And I think he's packed up doing it now, isn't he?
The Big Nasty persona has been retired, but he's not giving up his season ticket though. I know that. He said he's still going to games.
Yeah, and if one person does, say what it's like to be a Buccaneer, like Kieron was just saying, the attributes what you need, surely it's him, because what he's done, and he's got his little charity he does where little kids go and they dress up as Big Nasty as well. And he likes steak and ale pie as well, so he's got a big thumbs up for me.
And you've got to remember, he's one of the few people to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame twice.
Twice.
You took the words right out of my mouth there, Kieron. I mean, we are all big Buccaneer fans, but my goodness, no one can get close to Keith. He represents everything that it means to be a Buccaneer fan.
Yeah. And he's got a Bucs UK patch on his jersey that he wears every.
He does, yes, he does, yes, absolutely. And then, of course, we've got Devin White there as well, Gary. We've spoken about him a lot already this evening.
We have.
Great player.
Great player.
Sorry, go on.
Not sure in terms of this category, he deserves to be on that list, quite frankly, with the other three. But good player. Great to see Mike Evans on there. Love the fact that Big Nasty is on there. And love even more the fact that, of course, our good friend Brian is on there.
And the Buccaneer of the Year goes to... It's Brian Ford again. He has won this award so many times, but deservedly so. Tim, Kieron and David have already sung his praises. We could just keep singing his praises for hours, couldn't we?
We could, as a lot of us have known him for a long time now. Gary mentioned earlier Tristan Wirfs. You can pencil him in each year for this particular award. Brian, you can particularly, pretty much you can. I think you want to retire the award for him at the moment. The way he's doing is it a bit like the World Cup? Does he get to keep it after 3 years? Or something like that?
We've been in discussions about that, shall we say? We'll discuss more at the AGM.
It's almost as though we need to rename the award, the Brian Ford Buccaneer of the Year or something.
Yeah.
But
he richly deserves everything he does. A lot of us have been in his company many, many times, and everything is Buccaneers first. I think to the detriment of Judy half the time, to be true.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Judy, and I was going to mention Judy and the boys as well, because actually, I think we all know you're only as strong as the rest of your family, and they back him 100%.
Yes.
Going around the world, literally to back him up and make sure he can, focus on the day job, and they're all a credit to him. They're all a credit to the Buccaneers. Just the nicest bunch of people, and just love them all.
Well,
Yeah,
just for getting us all tickets for Munich on its own, was such a colossal task. Wasn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. So once again, deserved win again for you, Brian. A massive, massive congratulations. So that brings us to an end of the awards, the 35th Bucs UK Annual Awards. Congratulations to all our winners. What a season it was for the Buccaneers. Didn't quite end up being as we wanted it to be, but still we got to the playoffs again. All that remains for me to do is say a huge thank you to Kieran, Tim, Dom, David, and Gary.
Thank you.
No
Cheers,
problem.
mate. Thank you. Cheers.
We hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you again very soon. And as always, go Bucs.
Go
Go
Bucs.
Bucs.
Bucks.